So good day everyone, my name is Diana Del Mundo and I along with my groupmates will be presenting our concept paper entitled The Impact of Trust in Cashless Transactions. So I will be discussing the brief description and background of the study. This will be followed by the research problem and objectives, expected output, descriptive format of hypothesis, methodology, justification of methods, and conclusion. So to start off, digital technology continues to reshape everyday life. So cashless transactions have become a common method for purchasing goods, paying bills, and transferring money. So these systems, such as mobile wallets, QR code payments, online banking, card payments, or debit or credit cards, they offer convenience and speed. So especially in urban or tech-savvy communities. So these are the kind of payment methods that don't require any physical cash to transact. The main emphasis on this study is the trust in cashless transactions. And although many people are still accustomed to dealing with cash, there is a noteworthy increase in cashless transactions, especially with more online business thriving and online shops available within our reach. So for the background of the study, when we say cashless transactions, it usually refers to financial exchange carried out through digital means, totally eliminating the need for physical cash. And from Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas 2024, it showed that in recent years, cashless payment systems have become part of everyday life. Like digital wallets, mobile banking, and contactless payments are now common options for consumers who want faster and more convenient ways of paying. So in the Philippines, we usually use GCash and PayMaya. So they have grown rapidly, and more than half of the retail transactions are already made digitally. So the advantages of cashless payments are well documented. For one, they reduce cash-related crimes such as robbery and corruption. That's according to Rogoff from 2016. And they also provide anytime, anywhere convenience. So you could be outside, you could be walking along the street and you need to pay for something, you could quickly do it with a click. So with global internet and mobile penetration rising, financial institutions are investing heavily in mobile and digital platforms to meet the growing demand. So cashless transactions thus represent more than just convenience. They signal a broader transformation in how value is exchanged in the digital age, which we are all in now. So that's according to Tirupati Manikam from 2019. And by concentrating on the trust, which is the most important part of our study, is that it aims to provide a clearer understanding of its influence on consumer behavior in the digital payment ecosystem. So the findings will not only benefit the consumers by encouraging safer and more reliable systems, but it will also help financial institutions and policymakers design strategies that promote in the digital inclusion. It will also strengthen confidence and accelerate the country's transition to a secure cashless economy, which is hopefully in the near future. So I will now pass the mic to the next reporter, which will be Sir Mark.
The next slide is research problems and objectives. Cashless transactions offer undeniable advantages for consumers, such as convenience, safety from handling cash, and access to financial services that may not have been available before. However, these benefits can only be fully realized if consumers believe that the system is secure, reliable, and easy to use. Any doubts about security breaches, technical glitches, or misuse of personal data can discourage adoption and repeated usage. Trust therefore becomes the key factor in sustaining digital transactions. When customers are confident that their personal data and money are protected, they are more likely to use cashless payment channels repeatedly. Conversely, a lack of trust can reduce adoption rates and higher engagement with digital payment platforms. On the left side, the following are common problems faced the consumers when using online payment methods. First is high transactions and merchant fees, limited access and digital divide, security concerns and fear of scams, and last, mixed user experience. On the right side, these are the ways to help consumers gain trust in their preferred online payment methods. Ease and accessibility, enhanced security, international expansion, simplified transaction, and improving user experience and reliability. Next slide is research objectives. This study aims to explore how consumer trust influences the adoption and usage of digital payment platforms by examining the role of perceived security and safety measures, identify the key factors that shape trust in mobile wallets and other cashless transaction systems, and uncovering the barriers that hinder consumers from fully embracing these cashless payments methods. By addressing these objectives, the study seeks to underscore the importance of trust as a central factor in shaping consumer behavior in cashless transactions. The findings will provide insights into building stronger confidence in digital platforms, ensuring that they are not only convenient but also dependable in the eye of consumers. So we come up to these research questions. Number one is, to what extent does consumer trust affect the adoption usage of digital payment platforms? This question seeks to evaluate the overall significance of trust in influencing consumers' behavior, while acknowledging that other factors may also contribute. Second question is, what influence do perception of security and safety measures have on consumer trust in cashless transaction? This question narrows the focus to perceptions of security and safety measures, examining how these influence the level of trust consumers place in cashless transaction. The third question is, what are the factors shaping consumer trust in mobile wallets and other cashless transaction platforms? This question goes further by identifying and analyzing the various factors such as user experience, brand reputation, or technological reliability that shape consumer trust in mobile wallets and other digital payment systems. And the last question is, what barriers prevent consumers from fully trusting and adopting cashless payment methods? This question addresses the obstacle or concerns such as fear of fraud, privacy issues, or lack of familiarity that may prevent users from fully trusting and adopting these platforms. Together, these questions form a comprehensive framework for investigating how trust is built, maintained, or undermined in the context of digital financial services. So, our expected output. This research is expected to provide a deeper understanding of how trust influences the use of cashless transaction among individuals. It aims to identify the key factors that shape trust in digital payment systems, such as perceived security, ease of use, and user experience. The study also hopes to uncover common concerns or barriers that prevent people from fully adopting cashless methods.
In this section, we present the descriptive format of our hypothesis, which explores how trust influences consumer behavior in cashless transactions. Our central hypothesis is that consumer trust significantly influences the adoption and usage of digital payment platforms. This trust is shaped by various factors including perceived security, demographic characteristics, signal stability in past experiences. To examine this, we propose the following hypothesis. Our first hypothesis explores the role of perceived security in digital payments. Null hypothesis states that higher level of perceived security can increase the likelihood of adopting digital payment. Alternative hypothesis suggests that consumers with greater trust in digital platform privacy policies are more likely to use digital payment. Second, trust in cashless payment systems varies across demographic groups. Null hypothesis, older generations prefer to make payments with the use of cash. Alternative, younger generations prefer to make payments without using cash. And next, signal stability of digital payment platforms when transacting online. Null hypothesis, consumers residing in urban areas tend to have stronger signals for the app despite the busy life. Alternative, consumers residing in rural areas are more likely to get low to zero signals when using the app to transact despite having vast spaces of land. Next, perceived security and safety measures positively affect consumer trust in cashless transactions. Null hypothesis, individuals who believe that their financial and personal data are protected feel safer using mobile wallets or online banking. Alternative, individuals who have experienced fraud or data breaches may be more cautious or avoid digital payments altogether. So these hypotheses aim to capture the multifaceted nature of trust in digital financial systems. By exploring these dimensions, we hope to gain deeper insights into what drives or hinders the adoption of cashless transactions across different consumer groups. For our methodology in data gathering, to explore the impact of consumer trust on the adoption and usage of cashless payment systems, this study employs a quantitative research approach. This method allows us to gather measurable data and analyze patterns across a broad sample of respondents. Our primary tool for data collection is a structured survey questionnaire designed to capture insights on perceived security, trust in privacy policies, signal stability, and demographic factors such as age and location. The survey targeted consumers between the ages of 18 to 60, including both individuals who actively use cashless payment systems and those who are hesitant to adopt them. Platforms considered in the study include GCash, Maya, PayPal, and debit credit cards. To ensure diversity, the survey was distributed both online and in person, reaching respondents from urban and rural areas and across different age groups. This helped us examine how trust in digital payment systems varies across demographics. Once collected, the data was encoded and analyzed using basic statistical techniques. This helped us identify trends, correlations, and potential support for our hypothesis. By using a quantitative approach, our study ensures that the findings are objective, data-driven, and relevant to understanding consumer behavior in today's digital financial landscape. To ensure a comprehensive understanding of consumer trust in cashless transactions, our study draws from both primary and secondary data sources. Primary data was collected through online surveys distributed via social media, email invitations, and online consumer forums. The survey was targeted individuals aged 18 to 60, including both users and non-users of platforms such as Gcash, Maya, PayPal, and debit credit cards. Questions were structured using 5-point Likert scales to measure trust, including perceived security, reliability, and privacy, satisfaction with digital payment platforms, perceived risk associated with cashless transactions, and adoption intention or the likelihood of future use. Secondary data was sourced from official reports from financial institutions and government agencies, news articles in highlighting current trends and public sentiments, academic literature offering theoretical insights and prior research, industry reports and white papers from fintech and market analysis. Together, these data sources provide a well-rounded foundation for analyzing how trust affects consumer behavior in the digital payment landscape. For our data analysis, to interpret the data collected, we applied both descriptive statistics and correlation analysis. Descriptive statistics were used to summarize participant responses and identify overall trends. This included calculating frequencies, percentages, means, and standard deviations for key variables such as trust, satisfaction, perceived risk, and adoption intention. These summarizes help us to understand how respondents generally feel about cashless payment systems and how their experiences vary across different demographic groups. In addition, we conducted correlation analysis to examine the relationship between trust-related factors such as perceived security, privacy, and reliability, and consumer behavioral indicators like usage, frequency, satisfaction, and adoption intention. This analysis allows us to determine whether higher levels of trust are associated with increased usage and satisfaction, and whether perceived risk negatively impact adoption. Together, these methods provide a clear and data-driven understanding of how trust influences consumer decisions in the context of cashless transactions.
And now, let's go to the justification methods. This study explores the influence of consumer trust on the adoption, usage, and continued engagement with cashless transaction platforms, including mobile wallets, unified payment interface, and internet banking. To effectively address the research questions, it is important to use methods that capture both quantifiable patterns and deeper consumer perspectives. A comprehensive understanding of cashless transactions and consumer trust requires quantitative data to assess adoption rates, usage behavior, and trust levels across different demographic groups, and qualitative insights to explore consumer perceptions, concerns, and personal experiences in greater depth. As such, a mixed methods approach is most suitable. While quantitative methods form the basis for identifying broad trends and relationships, qualitative methods adds valuable context by uncovering the underlying reasons behind consumer behavior. And for our ethical considerations, all participants will be informed about the purpose of study and assured that their responses will remain confidential and anonymous. Consent will be obtained prior to participation, and participants may withdraw at any time without penalty. For our tentative timeline, it will be week 1 to 2, gathering secondary sources and finalizing review of related literature. Week 3 to 4, designing and distributing short surveys, interviews. Week 5, analyzing data and drafting findings. And for the week 6, it's finalizing the paper. And finally, for our conclusion, in conclusion, trust is not only a central theme, but also the decisive factor in the adoption of cashless transactions among consumers. It goes beyond being a technological safeguard. It represents the psychological and emotional assurance that motivates individuals to embrace digital payments. Platforms such as GCash, Maya, PayPal, debit, credit cards. This study establishes that when consumers perceive a system as secure, reliable, private, and easy to use, their likelihood of adoption, satisfaction, and long-term engagement significantly increases. The body literature reviewed underscores these claims. International studies reveal that trust mediates the relationship between technology and behavior, while local research highlights that Philippines consumers remain cautious despite the rapid expansion of digital payments. Reports from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas 2024 and current news sources affirms the momentum towards a cashless economy. Yet, they equally point to trust as the critical determinant of sustained adoption. These findings confirms that no matter how advanced a system may be, consumer hesitation persists if trust is not firmly established. Through a mixed approach, this research contributes measurable insights into the relationship between trust and consumer adoption. Online surveys will provide first-hand evidence of how trust shapes consumer perceptions, choices, and behaviors. By centering the analysis on consumers, the study ensures that the results are grounded in real user experiences, offering practical value to digital platforms, aiming to strengthen their connection with the public. Ultimately, this study highlights the trust in the common cornerstone of successful cashless ecosystem. A system may promise convenience and efficiency, but without consumer confidence, adoption remains fragile. Conversely, platforms that invest in cultivating trust through stronger security, transparent policies, and user-centered designs are positioned to achieve not only widespread adoption but also enduring consumer loyalty. Implications for the future beyond its academic value. This research serves as a call to action. It urges digital payment platforms to prioritize consumer trust as a core strategy and invites future study to expand on how cultural, social, and psychological factors further influence adoption. By deepening our understanding of trust, we pave the way toward a more inclusive and resilient digital economy where consumers are not just users but empowered participants in shaping the future of financial transactions. That will be our concept paper slide presentation for the impact of trust in cashless transaction. Together with my group mates, Diana Grace Del Mundo, Rosario Rafan, Mark Jefferson Delmo, and I, Venus Avellana Enriquez, saying, without trust, even the most advanced cashless system is just technology. With trust, it becomes a way of life. Thank you and have a nice day.